A very warm good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the valedictory session of the two-day NAAC-sponsored national seminar on NAAC Revised Accreditation Framework, a comprehensive approach organized by IQAC of Kuriakose Elias College, Mannanam. The lead speaker of this session is Dr. Sabu Thomas, Honorable Vice Chancellor, MG University. To formally welcome the distinguished guest and the August virtual gathering, I call upon Dr. Bridget Paul, Principal of Kuriakose Elias College, Mannanam. Welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, Dr. Sabu Thomas, IQAC Coordinator Dr. Matthew Telly, NAAC Coordinator Dr. Sandhya C., Vice Principal Reverend Dr. Xavier Chiramtara, Reverend Father Joby Joseph Mukalel Barsar, Dr. Renu Jose, Secretary IQAC, Mr. Ronnie George, faculty members from other colleges, dear colleagues and friends. As we have come to the flag end of this two-day national seminar on NAAC Revised Accreditation Framework, I feel extremely privileged to welcome all of you to this virtual gathering. At the outset, I welcome Dr. Sabu Thomas, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, a renowned scientist and academician to this program. We are proud that he is an alumnus of our college. Words are not enough to describe his academic credentials. On behalf of entire KE fraternity and all the participants present here, I formally welcome you, sir, to your alma mater and to this program. Any institution moves towards success only with an able administration. KE College is lucky enough to have Reverend Father Joby Joseph Mukalel as Barsar, an amazing person, a visionary who takes care of the matters of the college with poise and grace. Welcome, Father, to this program. I also formally welcome Dr. Renu Jose, Secretary IQAC, Mr. Ronnie George, my colleagues, faculty members from other colleges and Team IQAC to this program. I wish this humble endeavor of ours has been fruitful and will help the participant colleges to perform well and attain better grades in NAAC accreditation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Sabu Thomas, a noted scientist both nationally and internationally, is the pride of KE College. Presently, the Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, he has won 58 research awards, authored 133 books and 104 book chapters. He is also the reviewer of many international refereed journals. He has guided 103 doctoral students, out of which 10 were international students. He is also the visiting professor in many international universities. That was just a glimpse of his wonderful profile. May I now call upon Dr. Sabu Thomas to speak to us on the topic, Resource Mobilization for Research. Over to you, sir.
Thank you for the kind invitation for this seminar on how to submit a winning project proposal. I am very glad to associate with you. I congratulate IQAC of Kuriakose Elias College for the wonderful webinar series to increase the quality of higher education. So today I'm going to talk about how to submit a winning project proposal. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
Sir?
Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. Continue, sir. Continue, sir.
Okay. So I will go to the next slide. The component of a successful project proposal, bottom line, is strong idea, strong science, and strong application. This is extremely important. When you submit any proposal to your funding agency, the idea should be extremely good. Science should be good. And nowadays, all the funding agencies will ask you, what is the application? They're very concerned with the application. So this is the component of a successful project proposal, bottom line. I hope you can all see the anatomy of a grant proposal. The anatomy of a grant proposal is also very, very important. You know, why I presented this is when you make any proposal, you will have to be careful about many factors. You can see a picture of a professor, a faculty member. A faculty member regularly look for all the calls. India, we have DST, DBT, there are many, many funding agencies. Funding from state governments, funding from RUSA, MHRD, international calls, funding from European Union, funding from Canada, Indo-French Society. There are so many, I think maybe more than 150 funding possibilities. So the faculty should be extremely vigilant. And when there is a call for a proposal, the faculty member should understand the call very well. That is why I have made a point here, program staff. Program staff means the staff belonging to the funding agency. So you have to talk to them, interact with them. You have to see the program announcement. It could be a website, it could be in a newspaper. Always nice to have collaborators. Nowadays, single PI projects are less likely to be funded. You are asking for a big money. Multi-PI projects are very interesting. So try to have collaborators. Submit grant application on time to the funding agency. Now, most of the funding agencies, the submission is online. I remember in the past, when I joined in Maha, 25, 30 copies by post, by speed post. But now you can do everything online. Once you submit an online application, you know what the funding agencies usually do? They send out for peer review. And then they have an advisory board, or we call PSC meeting or advisory committee meeting. In that committee meeting, there could be different possibilities. One is project is accepted as it is. For acceptance, you are lucky, you get funding. Look at this. Get funding. You can start the work. I would say almost 90% accepted proposal, you have to, most of the time you have to revise it. Just for a revision. So then you have to revise it. You have to do all the operations again, you revise and resubmit. There's a possibility that the project will be rejected. If it is rejected, you rework on the proposal and submit. Again, I want to tell you that scientific merit is important. Program consideration is important. Amount of funding, that also is very important. Some funding agencies will not have much of funding. Secure enough collaborators. If you have a lot of collaborators, you can get funding easily. So you try to collaborate with many institutions. You have to understand the mission of each agency. For example, DST, they will fund you roads. I got many multi-crore DST projects. But if you go to CSIR, they will give you all 20 lakhs, 10 lakhs. So you must understand the agency very well. There are processes to write a proposal. You have to plan in advance. Think and write. Plan, think and write. I have a beautiful, I can show you, I have a beautiful slide here. Big project, you have to have a good planning phase. I have participated with European Union projects. There's a big planning phase in that project. That project took almost 8 months to finish. Planning phase, writing phase, submission phase. But small project, the planning phase could be a couple of weeks. Writing phase could be a couple of weeks. But mega grants, 30 millions of euro, such projects, you need to have lots of timing. As I told you earlier, your idea should be novel, idea should be very good. Writing should be good. You write a proposal, the writing pattern should be extremely good. Knowing what to do and how to do, being willing to do, doing what is necessary. These aspects are very important. Collaborators. If you have many collaborators, get very easily. I remember when I started MGU, I had a collaborative project with NCL, with the Rubber Research Institute, the NAAC Trivandrum, RRL Trivandrum. Many institutions I had joint projects. Even some of the running projects are, 6 crores funding. Many institutions are involved. Now I am writing a major European Union proposal. There are 6-7 partners. Very important. So multiple PI projects are likely to get more acceptance. Proposal writing is very important. You have to be extremely careful with proposal writing. You have to present the proposal in a very beautiful manner. I will tell you importance. When you make a proposal, significance is very important. Approach, innovation, investigator, environment, all very important. The knowledge of the project. Significance, what is significant? Does the study address an important problem? What is the meaning of significance? Approach, conceptual framework, design of experiments, analysis of data, these include the approach. Innovation is very important. I remember when I went to DST to make a presentation, one referee, one expert, oh, Dr. Thomas, this is not very innovative idea. It has been done in the University of Akron a couple of years ago. So then I had to defend, no, this is a different system. These are the differences. They will always ask for innovation. Dear friends, this is an important question. They will always ask about the innovation. Suppose your idea is not new, they will not fund you. The capability investigator is very important. Suppose you don't have much of publication, you don't have much of experience in that area. And you get more investigators, more people, because you support them. Environment. Does the significance, does the scientific environment in which the work will be done contribute to the probability of success? Is there evidence of institutional support? These are all environment. I'll tell you another example. When I asked for a huge money from Department of Science and Technology under Nano Mission, Professor Rao was chairing. I asked for a transmission electron microscope. It needs something like 5 crores. So Rao summarized rejected. He said, Mahatma Gandhi University cannot support transmission. To show me the evidence of support from you. Then I had to meet the then Education Minister, Mr. M.M. Baby, and he agreed to give us 1 crore. That state government will give 1 crore. And finally, we got the DST project. So support from the institution is very important. Support from the state government is very important. Mega project. Foundation of the project should be extremely good. Please write in a very, very nice manner. Very important. See, when you write a proposal, cover sheet of the proposal, very, very careful. Title, very, very careful. Abstract, put a summary, background, significance, project description, project scheduling, biographical sketch of the PIs, what resources you have, the grant support, the budgets. You have to spend a lot of time in all these important information. Cover sheet. Cover sheet, you give important, see the name of the program, investigator, address. You give funding agency will have different types of cover sheet, but generally cover sheet should have the program name, number, PI's name, address of your institute, etc. Title of the project should be clear and descriptive. Please don't write very big title. And this hooks reader. If you have a very good title, oh, the reviewer will be attracted. So you should put a hook. So please have good title. Abstract. Again, abstract present the picture concisely, very concise percentage abstract. This is a second hook. Attract the reviewer. So abstract should be very simple. Then introduction. Introduction, you have to. It's a very critical part. Introduction must be very clear. It should be a roadmap to the application. For introduction, you have to be extremely careful. I will show you the next one. Background. The background, you have to show the literature review very carefully. And you have to say these are the gap areas. And you have to cite most important papers in the background review. A colleague of mine, when he wrote the background review, he wrote 100 references. Because of that, his project was rejected. Very, very important 20-24 references, not more than that. So background is very important. Classical papers should be cited always. Don't cite so many. If you have some preliminary data, it is fantastic. Describe the project in a very beautiful way. Organize the project in a very beautiful way. Scheduling of the project. Year, second year, third year. You must very specifically schedule the project. What are your components for first year, second year, third year? Biographical sketch of the investigator, very important. Okay, your capabilities, your expertise, your experience, your publication. Every funding agency has their own biographical, their own format. Resources of your institute. What are the resources of your institute? Office, electricity, animal house, computer. Please give complete information. You have to show the completed projects, pending project, completed projects. If you have completed some project, it's a big value for you for you to. It's a good. Support for you to get a good project. Budget. When you ask for budget, reasonable budgets, substantiate component of the budget very carefully. Okay, that's very important. You have to give supplementary materials. You write when you complete a proposal. Please ask your friends, your mentors, your colleagues to read and correct. Very important. Submit your application on time. See, sometimes forwarding takes time, but But Mahatma Gandhi University, we made a rule that project is submitted to registrar. Our registrar will forward that project the same day. So we have an excellent single window system for that. I hope the college also has such a facility. And I wanted to tell you that in most cases, See, I have finished something like 50 projects now. Various funding agencies, including European Union, Indo-French, 50 projects. Of the 50 projects, I would say 40 projects when I submitted came for revision. Only 10 projects I got acceptance directly. So most of the time you get comments on the expert. Revise it. Respect their comments and revise it. And if you do that, I'm sure you will get funding. Now I'm going to summarize 9 simple rules to remember when you submit a proposal. Rule number 1. Do not write the application for yourself. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയല്ല application എഴുതുന്നത് unless you are going to fund it. You must convince a review and expert committee. Very, very important. You must excite the reviewers. Reviewers are never wrong. Reviewers are never right. You get some comments. You must respect their comments and try to revise. Reviewer statements are never about you as a person. Please remember the fact that reviewers always write about it. Reviewer statements are only they list some weaknesses of the proposal. Always contact funding agency staff whenever you have any doubts. Focus your application very carefully. Your hypothesis, very, very focused aims. Propose mechanistic, scientifically relevant methodologies and experiments. Secure mentors and collaborators when you submit. That's a very strong point. Finally, let me tell you an inconvenient truth. You will not be funded if you do not submit proposal. So I request all my colleagues to write good proposal. If you want partners from MGU, I'm very happy to support you. We have really brilliant faculty members in all areas, like chemistry, biological sciences, social sciences. Some of them are running huge projects. So if you need any support, any collaborators, please write to me. There are a lot of calls from international projects from DST, European Union. And if you need some international partners, please approach me. I'm very happy to support. And wish you good luck. If you have any questions, you can post on to me.
Thank you, sir, for your edifying and insightful presentation on resource mobilization for research. Now it's time for open discussion. You can unmute the audio for clarifications. And for those who are attending the meeting via YouTube, can post your questions in the chat box. Thank you.
I request everyone to write your question in the chat box. What I will do is I will reply to you because I have now a meeting with the minister now.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. The Honorable Vice Chancellor is taking leave since he has got an important appointment with the Chief Minister. Thank you, sir. That is being such a busy person. Still, you had the magnanimity to join us for the session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Invite Father Joby Joseph Mukalel, CMI, Research Institutions for the felicitation.
Respected dignitaries and my dear teachers, it's my pleasure and privilege to felicitate a couple of words during the concluding session of NAAC sponsored national level seminar on NAAC revised accreditation framework. I think this national seminar is the result of collective responsibility and creative effort of internal quality assurance cell of Kuriakose Elias College. K College has an enriching vision. The vision is to become a center for excellence of learning and also to become a pillar of value-based education. The college also aims at the integral and comprehensive development of individuals. So my point is that the college is instrumental in establishing a radical change in the society in the form of excellent education. Education nowadays incorporates different strategies, methods, techniques, even different skills. So I believe this national seminar is one among those strategies or techniques to bring out a timely, intelligent, and relevant change in our institutions. In that sense, this national seminar is a grand success. I wish all the best. Once again, I congratulate the principal, vice principal, and the IQAC team on initializing this sort of creative endeavors. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Now I invite Dr. Renu Jose, Secretary IQAC, for the presentation of report and concluding remarks.
A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, Dr. Sabu Thomas, Principal of the College, Dr. Bridget Paul, Vice Principal, Reverend Father Dr. Xavier C.S., Barsa Reverend Father Joby Joseph CMI, IQAC Coordinator Dr. Majis Titherli, NAAC Coordinator Dr. Sandhya C., esteemed participants from various institutions, and my dear colleagues. National Assessment and Accreditation Council has the prime agenda to assess and accredit institutions of higher learning with the objective of helping them to work continuously to improve quality of education. Accreditation status of an institution is a key indicator that reflects upon its overall quality and reputation. Quality in education is a continuous process, and the challenge before us is to enhance the quality in education. NAAC has been continuously improving its methodology for assessment and accreditation, and the revised assessment and accreditation framework is in tune with global developments and challenges in higher education. The national level webinar on NAAC revised accreditation framework, a comprehensive approach, was organized by the college with the objective to familiarize the faculty members and academia concerned with the key features related to the revised accreditation framework of NAAC, so that institutions going for accreditation can be better prepared. 140 participants from various institutions across the country attended the webinar. Dr. Majis Titherli, IQAC Coordinator, welcomed the gathering. The inaugural session was presided over by the college principal, Dr. Bridget Paul. The webinar was inaugurated by Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, Dr. Sabu Thomas. In his inaugural address, Dr. Sabu Thomas emphasized the importance of accreditation for higher education institutions and the need for quality enhancement. He further elaborated the importance of 7 criterions involved in the accreditation process. Dr. B.S. Ponmaniraj, advisor of NAAC, delivered the keynote address. He gave insights on NAAC accreditation process and the role of teachers in SSR preparation. He also highlighted the importance of technology in teaching, learning, and evaluation process. The inaugural session was also graced by Reverend Father Dr. Xavier C.S., Vice Principal of the College, and Dr. T.M. Joseph, former Principal, Newman College, Thodupuzha. The session concluded with vote of thanks proposed by Dr. Sandhya C., NAAC Coordinator. In the first technical session, Dr. B.S. Ponmaniraj, advisor NAAC, explained the process of accreditation and highlighted various components involved in SSR and the type of questions asked in SSR, citing 11 examples. He further elaborated upon the importance of SOP and reading manuals for better understanding of the matrices. Dr. Binu Thomas, Associate Professor and IQAC Coordinator, Marian College, Kuttikanam, highlighted the importance of OBE in the revised accreditation framework and stressed that any institution desirous of getting better grading in accreditation process should implement OBE curriculum effectively. He also focused the 6 parameters of OBE as projected in Bloom's taxonomy. He pointed out that curriculum should meet global and regional needs, and this need to be reflected in PO, PSO, and CO. He also emphasized the importance of restructuring our curriculum in such a manner that it improves knowledge along with skill, assuring employability to young graduates of any discipline. The session was followed by a presentation by Dr. Mendes Jacob, CEO IPS Solutions Limited, who highlighted key points to achieve better NAAC grade. He brought out the importance of branding or repackaging of certificate and add-on courses and project works to claim more points in various matrices. His talk covered a wide range of innovative and best practices through which the institution can transform the education system towards quality improvement. Dr. Suresh Matthew, Professor of Inorganic Chemistry, School of Social Sciences, MG University, gave an overview of the revised accreditation and assessment format. He explained in detail the major changes in the accreditation process and further elaborated about the 7 criterions, key indicators, and the subsequent metric involved in the accreditation process. He pointed out that teaching, learning, and evaluation criteria plays a vital role in getting good grades. Dr. Josh James, former registrar, NT University, gave a detailed presentation on principles and stages of academic and administrative audit process, what type of audit should be conducted, and how to prepare self-study report. He stressed the importance of AAA in strive for excellence. In the valedictory session, Dr. Sabu Thomas, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, highlighted the components of a successful project proposal and strategies of resource mobilization for research. The importance of systematic planning in attracting resources for research projects was noted. I believe that this webinar enlightened the minds of the intellectual gathering and helped the participants gain more knowledge and ideas towards enhancing quality in their respective colleges. Let me conclude by thanking all of you for your time and ideas. Thank you all.
Thank you, Renu ma'am, for the concluding remarks. The forum is now open to all participants. All of you are requested to say a few words regarding this program.
Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, I am Dr. Ambali from Sahradaya College of Engineering and Technology. This two-day seminar has been a great experience for me as I've been attending this, and the sessions were really very good. The efforts taken by the IQAC team and KE College is really commendable. This was particularly useful for me in person because we have just submitted the SSR and we are awaiting the NAAC visit in March. The dates have already come. So definitely this session has been a big booster for us to face the whole NAAC visit, and it has given several new insights. And for me, as leading a team of the department, I feel really very fortunate enough to have attended the seminar at this point of time. And we had really very good experts covering all the aspects. So thank you so much, I would say, definitely to the whole KE College team, and particularly my friend Dr. Sandhya, who invited me for attending this two-day seminar. Thank you so much, and best wishes to KE College. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your remarks.
Now I invite Professor Roni George, renowned success coach and civil services coaching faculty, to propose the vote of thanks.
Most Honorable Vice Chancellor of MG University, Professor Dr. Sabu Thomas, beloved Principal of KE College, Dr. Bridget Paul, Vice Principal, Reverend Dr. Xavier Chirandara, our Barsa, Reverend Father Joby Joseph Mugale, dear participants and fellow teachers of this seminar. It's with immense joy and pride and extreme happiness that I propose the vote of thanks at the valedictory section of this two-day NAAC-sponsored national level seminar on NAAC revised accreditation framework, a comprehensive approach. I am sure the seminar has enlightened through its valuable inputs and insights of the last 2 days. We have some eminent resource persons who had graced the occasion for the last 2 days. Without mincing any words, let me go to my designated task. This seminar was inaugurated by the Honorable Vice Chancellor of MD University, Professor Dr. Sabu Thomas. He was also one of our main resource persons who talked in the last session on resource mobilization for research. As far as research is concerned, he is a man who practices what he preaches, the apt man to grace the occasion. I'm sure MG University is definitely blessed by the presence of one of the best academicians, erudite scientist, renowned nanoscientist, Dr. Sabu Thomas. So on behalf of K Academic Fraternity and IQAC K College Mannanam, I profusely thank Dr. Sabu Thomas, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of MD University, for his inaugural speech as well as for his role as a resource person. Thank you very much, sir. Over the last 2 days, we have been blessed by the presence of several eminent resource persons. I don't want to name it name by name. We have Dr. B.S. Punmudiraj, NAAC advisor, Dr. Binu Thomas, IQAC coordinator, Medical College Kuttikanam, Dr. Mendes Jacob, CEO, IPSR Solutions Limited, Dr. Suresh Matthew, School of Chemical Sciences and University, and Dr. Josh James, former registrar in University. So on behalf of K College Mannanam and its IQAC cell, let me extend our immense gratitude to all the 5 resource persons who had enlightened us over the last 2 days. Thank you, dear sirs. Next, our gratitude goes to our beloved principal, Dr. Bridget Paul. She has been a source of strength, pillar of strength behind all our activities. So on behalf of our academic fraternity of K College, let me thank our beloved principal, Dr. Bridget Paul. Next, my thanks goes to our vice principal, Reverend Dr. Xavier Chirandara, and our dear Darsa, Reverend Father Joby Joseph Mugale. Both the fathers have been so instrumental in the success of this seminar. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Xavier C.S. and Reverend Father Joby Joseph Mugale. Next, our gratitude goes to the organizing committee of this 2-day seminar. Our IQAC coordinator, my good friend Dr. Matthew Stitelli, who also happens to be the head of the Department of Botany, Dr. Sandhya C., our NAAC coordinator, Dr. Jolima Matthew, IQAC joint coordinator and head of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Inu Jones, Secretary IQAC and head of the Department of Economics, and Shamal TM, who is the joint secretary of NAAC. So on behalf of all the participants, on behalf of all the teachers who have gathered here, let me profusely thank the organizing committee for having played such a pivotal role in the organization of this seminar very successfully. As I move to the last part of my vote of thanks, any seminar is a success just because of the active participation, the positive interaction of its participants. It is you who have made this seminar a success. Thank you, dear teachers, my fellow teachers who have joined this seminar from various parts of Kerala and even outside Kerala, and all my fellow teachers of K College Mannanam for having been with us for the last 2 days and having actively involved in each and every session, actively interacted in every session. Thank you very much, dear teachers, fellow participants, for having been with us for the last 2 days. On behalf of K College, I seek your blessings, I seek your cooperation in your future endeavors as well. So thank you all. Thank you very much. Have a great time. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ronnie sir, for proposing the vote of thanks.